Good morning, everyone. On this Wednesday of the 13th week in Ordinary Time, it's a much cooler day. You can see it's kind of a little bit overcast this morning, and so we'll have much cooler temperatures. We're reading from the book of Genesis, chapter 21, verse 5, and then verses 8 through 20a. Abraham was 100 years old when his son Isaac was born to him. Isaac grew. On the day of the child's weaning, Abraham held a great feast. Sarah noticed the son whom Hagar, the Egyptian, had borne to Abraham playing with her son Isaac. So she demanded of Abraham, "Drive out that slave and her son. No son of that slave is going to share the inheritance with my son Isaac." Abraham was greatly distressed, especially on account of his son Ishmael. But God said to Abraham, "Do not be distressed about the boy or about your slave woman. Heed the demands of Sarah, no matter what she is asking of you, for it is through Isaac that your descendants shall bear your name. As for the son of the slave woman, I will make a great nation of him also, since he too is of your offspring." Early the next morning, Abraham got some bread and a skin of water and gave them to Hagar. Then, placing the child on her back, he sent her away. As she roamed aimlessly in the wilderness of Beersheba, the water in the skin was used up. So she put the child down under a shrub and then went and sat down opposite him, about a bow shot away. For she said to herself, "Let me not watch to see the child die." As she sat opposite Ishmael, he began to cry. God heard the boy's cry, and God's messenger called to Hagar from heaven. "What is the matter, Hagar? Don't be afraid. God has heard the boy's cry and his plight of his. Arise, lift up the boy, and hold him by the hand, for I will make of him a great nation." Then God opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water. She went and filled the skin with water, and then let the boy drink. God was with the boy as he grew up. The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. Well, interesting passage here. It gives kind of a perspective that Ishmael, which is the child that was born through the slave woman, Hagar, is also blessed because he is a child of Abraham also. Now we have this incident of Ishmael playing with Isaac, and they're about 13 years difference between the ages, so probably a little rough time playing together. At any rate, Sarah doesn't like what she's seeing. Maybe she's being protective of Isaac, which is probably pretty normal of a mom who has this only child that they have between Abraham and Sarah. At any rate, it causes some friction. And so at this point, Abraham is instructed by the Lord, it's okay. Let Sarah's demands be allowed. And so he gives meager provisions to Hagar, certainly not provisions that you would think she would need to go out in the desert, especially to Beersheba. I keep on forgetting how to pronounce it in English. But anyway, it's desert out there. This is the Negev. It's the beginning of the Negev desert. So it's extremely hot, kind of like what we just experienced just a few days ago. And so she's out there desperate. Yet God's provision is made for her and her son. And out of her son becomes a great nation, the Arabic people. They're sons and daughters of Abraham too, and are also blessed. It's worth contemplating. Stay safe, folks. Hopefully we see each other soon. Bye for now.